started on electric and was a Music Master Fender, 3/4 second when I was 11 years old. And then I really didn't start playing acoustic until I think I was about 17. So about 6 years later I started playing. I think what happened is, I had a couple of songs that got a little bit of recognition and people, oh, Eric, he does, he plays electric guitar, which I love doing and I want to keep doing. But I think when that happened, it was like, well, okay, I'll just go with this. But I've always, ever since I was a kid, I was a big fan of Joni Mitchell's records and Crosby, Stills and Nash and James Taylor and Michael Hedges. And I guess a few years ago I started thinking, I want to make like an acoustic record and kind of bring out this other stuff that I do. And then you get busy doing this or that and kind of time rolls on. At some point I just decided to sit down and say, I want to do this record. And it's kind of stuff I've always done, like I've always played songs and played piano. I just haven't shared it as much with my public career. I've always played like piano on my records and maybe put one acoustic piece on the electric records, but I've kind of built up a lot of other type of music that I just never do. When you're playing by yourself and or maybe even an association, if you don't have a lot of ornamentary thing happening with the music, it becomes more about the song and your presentation and your performance of the song. Not necessarily whether you play it, perfect or not. It's not that. It's just whether you play it in such a way that it conveys an emotion to the listener and they get an impact from it. So when I made this record, I thought, if I'm going to make an acoustic solo record, I don't want to fabricate the record. I want to go to the studio and try to cut it as live as much as possible. And so as I did that, I noticed this thing happening just with the vibe of the performance. When you capture a performance, it has this chi energy to it that's just really, it has an impact to it, And so I got I was like, that was exciting to me, and it kind of made me rebalance, like, well, yeah, it's got that great chi energy from being a performance, but it's kind of, glitchy here and there because you perform it live, but who cares because you're getting this other thing. It's like everything has two sides to it, right? It's kind of an irony because all my heroes made records those ways, The left hand is pretty much the same, just playing stuff here, but the right hand is where you have to do all this kind of... all this finger picking stuff, And I usually play with fingers when I play acoustic. So it's a lot of just trying to get that together. Which is kind of a challenge for me because I usually, play with a pick. But I play a little bit with my fingers when I play electric. So I had a little bit together, but I've had to work at it, and I'm still working at it to get it together. Yeah, it's like a whole other world, the finger picking and that whole thing, but it's always been part of my world, but when you dive in a little deeper, it's like traveling into the deeper part of the pool, and like watching these guys, and it's kind of humbling because there's just so many great players out there, in any style of music. I think there's a certain thing you get from performing a piece of music, that's hard to get if you're not performing it, So there's another kind of heartfelt impact thing that happens. So yeah, it made me kind of re-look at what I'm doing. And it's like, wow, I want to try to carry that pulse into whatever I do. I kind of want to rethink about the way I make an electric record too. We're playing to smaller audiences. It's more intimate. It's more of a balanced kind of client thing, where like all sorts of people come out and see it, not just people that want to hear 120 dB, for 8 hours, But it's been going well. It's challenging for me because it's a little different technique, a little different, way you have to posture the song and do it and stuff. And then playing solo is kind of challenging, but yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge, but I'm enjoying it,